Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kevin Sullivan channel. Thanks for watching my channel. For those who would like to email me, you can email me at kevinsullivan.youtube@yahoo.com. I also, guys, do phone sessions, for counseling, coaching, or therapy. Also via chat, Skype. So if you're interested in that, email me for inquiries. Also at Kevin Sullivan, YouTube@yahoo.com. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you subscribe to the channel, double check to make sure that you have hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, as soon as I do, you will be informed. Also, as well, I have a new channel, my live channel. It's called Kevin Sullivan Live. That's where I'll be doing all my live videos. So if you want to subscribe to that channel, when you subscribe to that channel, make sure you hit the notification bell on that channel as well, so you'll be informed every time I go live and upload a live video to that Kevin Sullivan Live channel. So to get to that live channel, my new channel, Kevin Sullivan Live, you can go to my homepage, and on the right hand side of the corner, you'll see a YouTube button. Click that button, and that's how you can subscribe and hit the notification bell to my new Kevin Sullivan Live channel. Ladies, the topic of this video, which is very important, is called "Don't Let the Narcissist Fool You" by them playing the victim. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that it's victims, and you got narcissists, predators. So what I notice is that, in which this is how narcissists operate, is that narcissists always play the victim, so we have people who are actually true victims, in the world. So narcissists play victims very well, and they also could be lying, but for some parts, mostly narcissists are victims. That's how they became victims. I mean, this is how they became narcissists, predators, because they were once victims, so they just chose to also be, once they was victim, they chose to be the predators. They chose to be the evil people, like the evil people who abused them and mistreated them. They decide, well, I'm going to take on that role too. So yes, narcissists, most of them are victims of narcissistic abuse or any kind of abuse. All the abuses that there are, they've been abused. So it is true when they say that, when they play the victim, they have been abused, but what we have to understand is that they are victims, but they were victims, but now they are the predators. That's where we have to draw the line and be careful at, like I got an email, and I got plenty of stories about this, and this is, in most cases, is how narcissists get us, and I'm an example of this happening to me lots of times. This is this is the one that really gets people when they play the victim, is when they say that they came from narcissistic parents or narcissistic environment, abusive parents, abusive environments. It's true that narcissists come from these environments, but what we have to understand, that they are now not the victims anymore. They were victims. They have been victims, but now they are the people who are victimizing other people. So this is why, and I recently got comments about the situation. Someone that comments on my channel about the situation, how the girl, the narcissistic female, was telling him all about how all his how she was victimized her whole life by her family, raped at a young age, molested, and she have all these problems and addictions and blase, the whole rap sheet, and he fell for her being the victim. And what happened is, he did all these things that was broken and messed up in her life. He tried to fix her and try to do things to fix her life. Take care of her, give her money, place to live, all these things. All these things she was lacking, tangibly, mentally, financially, resource. all these things that he was helping her get that she didn't have, because she played the victim and he didn't know that she was. That is true. She probably wasn't. She was a victim, and sometimes narcissists are not victims of abuse. They just take on that role and they just play the victim. So they love to play the victim role. That's the thing that they do. So some of them are born narcissists, you know. So they not really come from abusive environments or parents or abusive backgrounds. They are born that way and they lie and say they do. Some of them are actually, some narcissists, most of them do come from these backgrounds, abusive parents, you know, abusive environments, toxic environments, so forth, so on, and they do come from that. You know, and then sometimes they lie and add and make it worse than it really was. And sometimes it is as worse as it is. But they'll still add to it because they're narcissists and they're liars. They always make things more than what they are, and then they always make things smaller than what they are, depending on how it benefits them. So he really believed it and thought she was just a person with all these problems. So he said, you know, her Superman fixed everything up. But what happened is that she left him to go with somebody else, whole new person, makeup, different makeup, all this stuff, and just left her. And then her family started to treat him wrong. You know, he said one of them put a gun on him. Somebody in her family put a gun on him. And she just left him, discarded him, and didn't want nothing to do with him. And of course, we know, most of us who already know how it goes with the narcissist when they discard you and dealing with the family after that. You're the bad person, you know, and they the victim. He dealt with the whole nine of that, and he was shocked, and it was surprised to him because the same people that she said that was victimizing her, she ran back to, and they actually was sticking up for her. And he's confused and don't understand it and don't get it and don't, which, you know, most of us don't get now. Some of us do because we understand what the narcissist is, what they're about, and how they operate. So the situation with that is that she was a narcissist and she played the victim. What got him is that what most of us do, you know, we try to help people, want to help people. You know, whether you're just a person who just want to help people or, you know, you're an empath, you know, scapegoat is basically all one and the same kind of. And so, or you was raised in an environment where you just was the helper. You just help people. You end up falling for people who are not, you know, who are wolves in sheep clothing. And that's what happened in the situation. He ran into a wolf in sheep clothing. And so what he don't understand, and what all of us need to understand, is that narcissists, this is what they'll do. So she, yes, might have definitely came from that background. Whatever she told him was true, you know, but she are just like them. Even though they abused her, and even though it's true of what they did to her and what she went through, what you have to understand is that she is now one of them. So it doesn't matter what happened. You know, it doesn't matter what happened because she became one of them. So she's the narcissist. So a narcissist is always going to use and play the victim and tell their side of the pity party and what they went through. Life is a mess. People are so this, people are so that. There's so much drama, and that, you know, how they are just wonderful people, especially the covert narcissists. This is what they best at. The overt narcissists play this role too. But covert narcissists are the most dangerous because it's like they really play this very, very well, and they'll get you to really feel sorry for them because they act like they just this weak person. Like, you know how these people just like, like they just so sad, so weak. They don't got one strength or bone in their body. It's just like you just feel, you know, you wouldn't think they'll harm somebody, but that's the covert narcissist. Like they really will trick you if you don't know that they are really the evil, like sneaky people. So the covert narcissist is the most dangerous. Be very careful for them. So what she did, see, narcissists play to both sides, the triangulation. That's another thing that's in part with narcissists. They triangulate. They'll triangulate you against anybody or any type of situation, any scenario, it doesn't matter. So what she did was triangulate him between her narcissistic family, and also keep in mind she's narcissist too. and he came to help her and rescue her. But she just used him for stuff, used him, and then abused him, did him wrong, used him, and then she went about her business. And then when he comes to, confront her and get closure, she sick her family on him. She go back, play the victim, then her family, and then sick her family on him. He's a crazy person, get him away from me. That's exactly what happened. So this is why this video is called Don't Fall for a Narcissist playing the victim. Be careful for people who playing the victim, because you really got to check and see who people really are. Their character, who they really are. Do they have any morals, values, or principles? What rules or codes or ethics do they live by? Are they honorable? These are the things you need to look for. You don't need to be said, because like in this situation, she was a victim then, but she's not a victim now. So you really don't fall for people. And this is what I learned. Narcissists always tell you their problems so you can feel sorry for them and they can play the victim. And it also blindsides you. And then what happens is you take excuses and make excuses for the why they behave. Like, well, they behave because this is what happened to them. This is what they went through. So especially if you are an empath, or you are a scapegoat yourself, and you've been through this yourself as well, you understand it because you've been through it. And I have a video more on this. Check it out. It's called The Reason Why We Fall for the Narcissist When They Play the Victim. And it explains why, we fall for the narcissist when they play the victim. Why we fall into it, we take heed to it. So check that video out. It's in my playlist, so you'll find that. So that's one thing he didn't know. He didn't really get to know her before. So he thought, and he thought he'd take on a case, help her out, fix her up, and thought it would be, she would thank him, reward him for it, she would be loyal to him for it. That's not a narcissist. That's not what they do. This is why you have to be careful and really find out who somebody is before you really take heed to what they say and check their background. And to check, and then if you would have checked her family background, he probably would have found out that, she, this is not somebody I want to deal with because the background she come from. Which, another thing we need to stop is that we try to fix people up. And what I learned is that once I see somebody who got all these issues and they tell you they got all these problems, then we should not be trying to take on this person as, well, let's fix this person up. You got to understand, like, you should rather want somebody who's already fixed up. Because when you try to, this is how we get involved with the narcissist, when we try to see somebody who say they got all these issues, all this victim abuse, all this baggage they come with, we think that they are nice people, and we overlook the baggage, the issues, the problems, the dysfunction that they have. And then we take on it, and then at the end, we get the short end of the stick. We lose money, resources, we lose our health. Sometimes some of us lose our lives. People lose their lives because of them. And we lose our finances, our resources, our life, our careers, our friends, our family. They end up coming and taking everything, because this is what narcissists do. They're here to suck the life out of you and destroy everything you have, and take as much as they can take with them and go on about their business. This is what they do. And this is what happens. So we should think twice about when we meet a potential mate, our date, and our friends too. And it's all this chaos and all this drama in their life, and they just plain no victim, because what you get is their issues and their baggage. You should really see if you could try to, like, help them out, but keep your distance. Don't jump all the way in, and then you all the way in, and then you in a lose situation. So really test the waters and see, is this what they've been through, but they healed from it? Because hurt people, and if they didn't heal from it, then all the issues that we have and we got, that anybody might have, they're gonna put on you, especially a narcissist. This is what they do anyway. So, and they got all this, a whole bunch of drama, baggage, and all this demonic and evil stuff and all these kid games, and they think childish. So all this stuff is gonna happen when you deal with them, and they're gonna play this game with you. And they also she triangulated him within, you know, with another guy in the picture, and then with his family. And he took a major loss in major kind of ways. One of the narcissists I dated a long time ago for years, one of her things was her stepfather molested her and all her sisters. Like he molested her, and I knew it before she even told me, because I can see it and tell. Like, and that's something I'm really against, and I really don't like with a passion. And I seen it because I just knew it. I felt it. I seen it. I knew it. I just knew that who he was. Just by looking at her stepfather's eyes, I seen the devil in him. I just seen the demonic and just evil. You know what I'm saying? I just seen it in him. And I just knew. And I really 100% knew what it was, because a lot of times when I used to go see her, you know, he will have one of the younger girls sitting on his lap. Now, these are big girls, like, you know what I'm saying? These girls is, you know, 10, 11, 12. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't need to be sitting on nobody's lap. Like, they grown, you know, like, so they would be, even the little ones to the more older ones, they would be sitting on his lap. And I was like, I know what this is. I know exactly what it was. And, you know, and I knew that's what she went through. And I knew that's because all her sisters was basically the same. So you know, and then eventually she ended up telling me that, like, this was going on, this is what all of them been through, and I knew it. And when she told me all of this, and I learned all how the abuse she went through, and, you know, all this stuff, and her playing the victim in that situation, that kind of made me stay longer and just be like, oh, it's just a hurt. Like, you know, like how people, you know, we love whatever animal we love, are all animals, and you see a hurt one, you just, or you see a cute puppy, you know, it's like, you know, you like, oh, I want to take this home, fix it up, take it to the vet, blase, blase, blase. Like, you really take to a nurturer, to nurture it. And even guys sometimes, especially with narcissists, they play the victim, we start playing nurturer, you know what I'm saying? And we start like, well, let me fix this up, and we don't even know what we're getting into. And she was nice at first. Narcissists always play nice, like they good people, you know, to reel you in. And what she did was she bit him. She reeled him in. What narcissists do, they reel you in, play nice, and then they bite you. And then once they bite you, then they go bite the next person, and or keep biting all the other X supplies that they have in their harem, you know, and just keep going back and forth with the old ones and getting the new ones. And so, you know, we got to not be fooled by people playing the victim. You know what I'm saying? We really got to know people and see what they really about, and really take our time, because this is how we end up falling for narcissists. Just like the last, and that was just one story. The last narcissist I dealt with before, the last one that I end up, you know, getting, you know, having a situation with, she was the victim. She played the victim. She had a horrible background. As all she did was play the pity party. She was just sad, little innocent thing. The world was just all against her. The world bad. She the most perfect person. She just, all these bad relationships she's getting into, and people were just treating her bad, and she got health problems, and she was born with this, surgery this, her family didn't, blase, blase, don't treat her right, her mother did, all this stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? You see, the background. When people play the victim from now on, what I do is that's just turn me off. Because what I noticed, ladies and gentlemen, is that all the stuff that I've been through and the stuff that I still go through, I don't mention that. Like, I don't talk to people about it, and I don't mention it on dates. Like, you know what I'm saying? I only talk about it here with you guys. This is what I talk to about, you know? I talk to you guys on my YouTube videos to help people out. And also when I do one-on-one phone sessions with people, or I do video one-on-one sessions, video chat with people, to my subscribers and my audience. This is the only time I talk about this stuff. I don't really talk about it with other people. You get it? So and dealing with this last narcissist, that came to mind. It was like, you know, I don't never say nothing about it, So that's why I really got it. And think about it. Do you, all the narcissistic abuse you've been through and you went through, or you still go through now, do you mention all of that when you on your date and you you know, you got a potential mate, you tell them about this, oh, I had this horrible background, oh, my mother this, my father this, oh, my family this, my friends this environment, this community. Do you really do that? When you know, think about it. I know I don't, so I was like, it's a red flag for me now. It's a red flag for me now. Because that's the narcissist tactic. And one thing I learned, when you go on a date with a narcissist, that's what it's all about. This is why narcissists tell you these things when they first meet you. And when you go on a date with them, is that they're fighting for who's gonna play the victim. That's what it's really all about. You know, and this is the same thing when two narcissists are on a date or together. They fighting for who gets the title of the victim. And this means the victim, that person gets to do whatever they want, say whatever they want, no consequences, and all I've been through this and I've been through that, so nothing, oh well, so what? I've been through hell and I get to say whatever I want, and that's my excuse for everything, you know? And that's what it's really all about. And the person who don't get to play the victim, they just get to take all the drama. They have to deal with all the drama, put up with it, and take being mistreated and beaten down. You know, all the things that narcissists do to their victims. You know, how they treat them, dog them down, you know, all these other nasty things and evil things that they do. So that's what it's for. So next time you, even if it's a friend, you dealing with a friend or a potential, you know, person you're interested in mate or a relationship, and you go on dates or you hang out with this person or you talk to this person, and they immediately just start talking about all these things that they've been through and their background, giving you all the information on their life, that's a big red flag. That's a big red flag. When someone plays the victim, that's a big red flag, because it's indicating that, you know, a victim is always somebody who's need comfort, you know, who always need admiration, validation. They always need a pat on the back. They always need a pity party. They always need somebody to lift them up. You know, a victim is always innocent in a situation. And this is the, you know, and with a narcissist, it's super to the max, you know, and it's way worse. So, ladies and gentlemen, this video kind of long. I hope I said enough. I hope it was enough information and good information for you guys to understand that. So, everybody have a great day and stay narcissistic free.